it stands out from the rest.
This is a whole nother level.
Neighbors have learned to keep their distance from 5256 Southeast Flavel Street.
I just mind my own business.
I've noticed a frequent stopping of cars, like people coming in 15 seconds. Also police monitoring the house.
It all started back in January when the homeowner left town and the property was empty.
And when he came back, there was somebody in his house, and he couldn't get back into it.
The owner put it on the market. Realtor Nathan Jones picked up the listing last month.
Had some guys they just basically walked into the property, took it over, and my seller doesn't have the resources to get them out.
The homeowner wouldn't talk with us on camera for fear of retaliation from those living on the property. But over the phone, he tells KGW when he asked them to leave, they beat him up, sending him to the hospital. He hasn't been back since, but still pays $1,500 a month for his mortgage.
All he wants to do is sell, and he can't do it.
It's listed for $330,000, but they're willing to negotiate. Jones is hoping for an investor who can afford to evict the squatters, which can be a difficult process.
It costs money, you got to get an attorney, file out all these papers, and it's like 90 days minimum. But if you don't have the financial resources, you're screwed. And that's the bottom line.
We tried approaching those living at the home, but they just stared at us, gave us the finger, and shut the door. Neighbors have told us that this property has become dangerous since they moved in, and we were cautioned by others not to talk with them. And to be honest, we didn't feel safe knocking on the door.
If I'm going to go up there, I wouldn't want to have some cops with me.
KGW reached out to Portland police twice, but didn't hear back right away. The homeowner has called police and the city to help evict the squatters, but says he hasn't received any help.
Well, there's often a woman that yells a lot and screaming at people.
I think everybody probably feels at risk or in danger. With those type of people, the fact that I'm doing this, my house might get broken into or something crazy.
Jones is advising people not to leave their property vacant even if they have security. He says it's becoming an all too common problem where people break in and never leave. In Southeast Portland, Blair Best, KGW News.
Okay, so Blair joining us in studio now. Blair, this is such a frustrating issue for people. It really is happening all over Portland. And you mentioned it in your story, but it really is a process to get these squatters out. So what does it take? How involved is this?
Well, Ashley, it is really a lot harder than one might think. And in many cases, like we just heard here, can turn violent. So if a person or a group of people break into your home and refuse to leave, it's really up to the homeowner to go through a civil courts process in order to kick them out, which can take weeks, sometimes months.
Yeah, that is a long, frustrating process. Now, as far as law enforcement's role, the homeowner in this case did call police and says nothing got accomplished. So where do we go from there?
So it really boils down to law enforcement proving that these people are trespassing. And I actually just heard back from Portland police about this property, and they have been to this property before, but they say it's a civil issue, which meaning the eviction process has to come from the homeowner or the courts. And as we heard, this homeowner doesn't have the resources to get a lawyer to go through that process. So he's stuck waiting for someone to buy the property who can afford to go through that process to evict them.
And you did ask police about this being a civil issue and why it's considered that.
Right, and I'm still waiting to hear back from them.
Okay, you let us know when you find out and you get an answer. Blair,
Will do.
Thank you.